Miss Rumphius by Barbara Cooney. Now, I picked this book for a really important reason. We've been learning about all these important American heroes. And there are some that are going to inspire you, and there's some different ones that are going to inspire me. It's not about making everyone like the same people that you like, or be inspired by the same people that inspire you. It's about making a difference. And believe it or not, that's your job. Your job is to make a difference in the world. Even as a kid, there are little things that you can do every single day to make the world a better place. And I'm counting on you. Because someday I'm going to be old. Really old. I mean, we're talking as wrinkly as a raisin. And you're going to be the grown-ups. And you're going to be the ones in charge. And I need to know, just like with my own boys, that I'm putting the right people in charge of this world. And with you guys, I think I am. With that, today's story is Miss Rumphius by Barbara Cooney, about making the world a better place. I'm going to read it like this, so you get a really good look at the pictures. The lupine lady lives in a small house overlooking the sea. In between the rocks and around her house grow blue and purple and rose-colored flowers. The lupine lady is little and old, but she has not always been that way. I know. She is my great aunt, and she has told me so. Once upon a time, she was a very little girl named Alice, who lived in the city by the sea. From the front stoop, she could see the wharves and the bristling masts of ships. Many years ago, her grandfather had come to America on a large sailing ship. Reminds me of Newport. Now he worked in the shop at the bottom of the house, making figureheads for the prows of ships and carving Indians out of wood to put in front of cigar stores. For Alice's grandfather was an artist. He painted pictures, too, of the sailing ships and places across the sea. And when he was very busy, Alice helped him put in the skies. In the evening, Alice sat on her grandfather's knee and listened to his stories of faraway places. When he had finished, Alice would say, "When I grow up, I, too, will go to faraway places. And when I grow old, I, too, will live by the sea." "That is all very well and good, little Alice," her grandfather said. "But there is a third thing you must do." "What is that?" said Alice. "You must do something to make the world more beautiful," said her grandfather. "All right," said Alice. But she did not know what that could be. In the meantime, Alice got up and washed her face and ate her porridge for breakfast. She went to school and came home and did her homework. And pretty soon, she was grown up. Then, my great-aunt Alice set out to do 3 things she had told my grandfather she was going to do. She left home and went to live in a city far from the sea and salt air. There she worked in a library, dusting books and keeping them from getting mixed up, and helping people find the ones they wanted. Some of the books told of faraway places. People called her Miss Rumphius now. Sometimes she went to the conservatory in the middle of the park. When she stepped inside on a wintry day, the warm, moist air wrapped itself around her, and the sweet smell of jasmine filled her nose. "This is almost like a tropical island," said Miss Rumphius, "but not quite." So Miss Rumphius went to a real tropical island, where people kept cockatoos and monkeys as pets. She walked on long beaches and picked up beautiful shells, and one day she met the Bapa Raja, king of a fishing village. "You must be tired," he said. "Come and rest in my house." So Miss Rumphius went in and met the Bapa Raja's wife. The Bapa Raja himself fetched a green coconut and sliced off the top so that she, Miss Rumphius, could drink the coconut water inside. Before she left, the Baparaja gave her a beautiful mother-of-pearl shell on which he had painted a bird of paradise and the words, "You will always remain in my heart." "You will remain in mine too," said Miss Rumphius. My great-aunt, Miss Alice Rumphius, climbed tall mountains where the snow never melted. She went through jungles and across deserts. She saw lions playing and kangaroos jumping, and everywhere she went, she made friends she would never forget. Finally, she came to the land of the lotus eaters, and there, getting off a camel, she hurt her back. "Oh, what a foolish thing to do," said Miss Rumphius. "Well, I certainly have seen faraway places. Maybe it's time for me to find my place by the sea." And it was. And she did. From the front porch of her new house, Miss Rumphius watched the sun come up. She watched it cross the heavens and sparkle on the water, and she saw it set in glory in the evening. She started a little garden among the rocks that surrounded her house, and she planted a few flower seeds in the stony ground. Miss Rumphius was almost perfectly happy. "There is still one more thing I must do," she said. "I have to do something to make the world more beautiful." "But what?" "The world is already pretty nice," she thought, looking out over the ocean. The next spring, Miss Rumphius was not very well. Her back was bothering her again, and she had to stay in bed most of the time. The flowers that she had planted the summer before had come up and bloomed in spite of the stony ground. She could see them from her bedroom window, blue and purple and rose-colored lupines. "Lupines," said Miss Rumphius with satisfaction. "I've always loved lupines best. I wish I could plant more seeds this summer, so that I could still have more flowers next year." But she was not able to. After a hard winter, spring came. Miss Rumphius was feeling much better. Now she could take walks again. One afternoon, she started to go up and over the hill, where she had not been in a long time. "I don't believe my eyes," she said when she got to the top of the hill. For there, on the other side of the hill, was a large patch of blue and purple and rose-colored lupines. It was the wind. She knelt in delight. It was the wind that brought seeds from my garden here, and the birds must have helped. Then Miss Rumphius had a wonderful idea. She hurried home and got out her seed catalogs and sent off to the very best seed houses for 5 bushels of lupine seeds. All that summer, Miss Rumphius, her pockets full of seeds, wandered over fields and headlands, sowing lupines. She scattered seeds along the highway and down the country lane. She flung handfuls of them around the schoolhouse and back of the church. She tossed them into the hollows and along stone walls. Her back didn't hurt her any more, at all. Some people called her that crazy old lady. The next spring, there were lupines everywhere. Fields and hillsides were covered with the blue and purple and rose-colored flowers. They bloomed along the highway and down the lanes. Bright patches lay around the schoolhouse and in back of the church, and down the hollow and along the stone wall grew the beautiful flowers. Miss Rumphius had done the third and most difficult thing of all. My great-aunt Alice, Miss Rumphius, is very old now. Her hair is very white. Every year there are more and more lupines. Now they call her Lupine Lady. Sometimes my friends stand with me outside her gates, curious to see the old lady who planted the fields of lupines. When she invites us in, they come slowly. They think she is the oldest woman in the world. Often she tells us stories of faraway places. "When I grow up," I tell her, "I will go to faraway places and come home to live by the sea." "That
That is all very well, little Alice, said my aunt, but there's a third thing you must do.
What is that, I ask?
You must do something to make the world more beautiful.
All right, I say. But I do not know yet what that can be. Miss Rumphius by Barbara Cooney. Now it's up to you. What can you do to make the world a better place? Think about it. See you later, guys.